We live in the most comparison-heavy society in human history. You wake up, you open your phone, and within 10 minutes, you've seen someone richer, fitter, happier, more successful, better looking, better dressed, better traveled, with a better house, better kids, better marriage, better career, and somehow better lighting. And then you wonder, why does my life feel so disappointing? But here's the problem. You're not actually comparing your life to their life. You're comparing your ordinary, behind the scenes, tired and messy reality to the carefully selected best 5 seconds of someone else's. That is not comparison. That's basically self-torture. Comparison is not always evil. Sometimes it can inspire you. Sometimes it shows you what's possible. Sometimes seeing someone ahead of you can wake you up. But most comparison does not do that. Most comparison doesn't make you better. It makes you bitter. It doesn't say, hey, look what's possible. It says, look what you don't have. And the moment you start living from that place, you stop building your life and you start resenting it. The fastest way to lose appreciation for what you do have is to obsess over what everyone else has. You might have a decent house, a fridge full of food, a loving family, a job, your health, freedom, opportunity. But then you go online and you see someone with a bigger house, a better body, a nicer holiday, a newer car, and suddenly your good life feels ordinary. Nothing actually changed. Your life didn't get worse. Your focus shifted. And that there is the danger. Comparison doesn't actually need to destroy your life. It only needs to make you blind to it. And once you're blind to what's good, you become ungrateful. And once you become ungrateful, you become dissatisfied. And once you become dissatisfied, you start to chase things that probably aren't even important to you. One of the biggest mistakes we all make is wanting someone else's outcome without knowing the sacrifices they made and paid to get there. You see the business, but you don't see the stress. You see the body, but you don't see the discipline. You see the career, but you don't see the family sacrifices. You see the money, but you don't see the anxiety. You see the confidence, but you don't see the years of rejection. You see the success, but you don't see the cost. And this all matters so much because more often than not, the life that you envy, you wouldn't want if you knew what it took to get it. You don't just want someone's results. You have to want their responsibilities, their pressure, their sacrifices, their habits, their schedule, and their burdens. But most people don't want the whole life. They just want the shiny part. The danger of comparison is that it convinces you to adopt someone else's scoreboard. Maybe your real goal is to be a present father, but comparison will tell you that earning more money is the true measure of success. Maybe your real goal is to find peace, but comparison tells you that being admired is really what you want. Perhaps you're chasing health, but comparison tells you you need to be shredded and have the best body. Maybe like me, you're hoping to find and give others meaning, but comparison tells you success is actually status. This is how people lose themselves. They spend years climbing ladders, only to realize they're leaning against the wrong wall, which is why you need to know what you're aiming at. Because if you don't choose your own direction, comparison will choose one for you. The healthiest comparison is not always sideways. Sometimes it's backwards. Don't ask, am I ahead of them? Instead ask, am I a better version of myself today than I was yesterday? Am I more honest than I was? Am I more disciplined than I was? Am I more patient than I was? Am I more responsible than I was? Am I a better husband or wife, father, mother, friend, colleague, citizen than I was? Because that's the only comparison that really matters. Because you can't control someone else's talent, money, upbringing, appearance, opportunities, or timing. But you can control whether you take one step forward in your own life today. That's where dignity comes from. Not from being better than everybody else, but from becoming better than who you used to be. No matter how successful you become, there will always be someone ahead of you. Someone richer, someone younger, someone fitter, someone more talented, someone more admired, someone with a bigger platform, someone with better results. If your peace depends on being ahead of everyone else, you will never find peace because there is no finish line. Comparison is a game you can't win because even if you do manage to beat that one person that you envy today, tomorrow will present you with someone else ahead of you. And that is why comparison is endless. It doesn't satisfy ambition, it feeds envy. Your life has a different assignment. This is the deeper point. Your life is not meant to be a copy of someone else's. You have different gifts and different weaknesses, different responsibilities, different circumstances, different timing, different burdens, and different opportunities. So why would you measure your path by someone else's? A fish looks completely useless if you judge it based on how well it can climb a tree. And many people spend their lives feeling like failures because they're using the wrong units of measurement. Maybe you're not actually behind. You're just on a different road. So, how do you stop comparing? I can tell you that you don't just tell yourself to stop it, because that rarely works. You have to replace comparison with direction. Ask yourself, what am I responsible for today? What's one thing I can improve? What kind of person am I trying to become? What matters in my life, not someone else's? What would make my family and my community's future better? Comparison pulls you sideways. Responsibility pulls you forward. Emotion says, they're ahead of me. But reason asks, are we even running the same race? Emotion tells you that you're failing. Reason asks, failing compared to what? Emotion says, I need to have what they have. Reason asks, do I actually want the life that produced that? And that is the rule of reason. It's not denying your feelings. It's just refusing to let envy drive the car. So, stop comparing your life to everyone else's. You don't know their whole story. You don't know the cost. You don't know the burden. You don't know what they go home to. You don't know what they fear, and you don't know what they sacrificed. And more importantly than all of that, their life is not yours. Your job is not to become them. Your job is to become the best version of yourself. Take responsibility for your path. Aim at something meaningful. Practice gratitude. Resist comfort when it weakens you. Work hard and build discipline. And only measure yourself against who you were yesterday. Because the goal is not to be better than everyone else. The goal is just to become someone that you respect. So stop looking sideways, look forward, and take the next step.